This game is rated M for mature. Hello everybody, bienvenidos guys, it's Tea Party Cthulhu here, and welcome back to more Let's Play Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. In the last part, we went and took care of some plague bearers, or, well, one plague bearer, namely, Brother Kanker. I always forget his name, but I'm pretty sure it was Brother Kanker, for our good friend Damsel right here, and Strauss, but don't tell Damsel that. And in this episode, as we got from our quest log, there are still more plague bears in the city, and we are going to go and take them out. So we're gonna first start at the Skyline Apartments. So why don't we get to that, alright? Now, while I'm walking over to the Skyline Apartments, I'm just gonna say, this episode is gonna feature two of the fights that I was absolutely dreading recording in this game, because, I mean, frankly put, I think everybody knows the combat in this game is not exactly stellar, and these fights aren't easy. They're definitely not easy, and what scares me even more is in preparing for this episode, like in the test recordings I did, and like in practice for like routing and stuff, the fights went perfectly. Which means they're gonna go absolutely awfully in the recording. I already know it's gonna take like 20 tries. And considering that Brother Kanker, who isn't even that hard, already took me 3 tries, I think, in the main recording. Oh, and by the way, I'm gonna stop by Fat Larry real quick. And there's something of his that I really want to buy, which is heavy clothing. It might cost $400, but let me tell you, having this extra armor is well worth it. Oh, and by the way, remember to equip the armor. Don't make the same mistake that I made also in my test recordings. Yeah, I think Brother Kanker took me like 3 or 4 tries in that recording. In my test recording, I remember it took me 5 because I was an idiot. So if we move here in downtown, remember you can look at the map on downtown if you look outside the bus stop. But Skyline Apartments are right over here. I don't know what other like landmarks they would be near, I guess. Just fine. Oh, well, yeah, the Nocturne Theater. I'm so dumb. Alright, let's head inside. Alright, we were sent to find Paul at the Skyline Apartments because apparently this ghoul Paul has some information. And, I didn't actually know this in my first playthrough, but if you look at the mailboxes, you can see P. Anderson, if I can stop moving. P. Anderson is in apartment number 5, so you actually don't know which apartment he's in unless you do that, and I didn't know that in my first playthrough, and I literally went and checked every single one. So now we have a wonderful elevator ride ahead of us. Moment of silence for the elevator. If anybody gets that reference, I love you. Alright, we move inside, and it seems Paul's not in a great place. He's kind of dead.
Hi, Paul. It's Hannah. Just calling to see how you are. I hope I didn't give you what I've got. I feel like crap. Actually, I need to ask you a favor. Could you pick me up some cold medicine at the store? I hate to bother you, but I can't seem to get out of bed. The code on my door is 1203. Hey, listen, I had a really good time the other night. Maybe we could do it again sometime. Sorry, I'm rambling. Okay, bye.
Alright, seems we have our new task on our job, which is to head up to, oh my god, the doors in this game. Head up to Hannah's apartment, which as we saw from the mailboxes was number 6, and have a code 1203 and check on her. Maybe she has some relation to Paul. Ooh, super fast. And luckily I know this. If we look in Hannah's apartment, right here behind this vase is a safe key. You'll probably want to pick that up.
Paul, is that? Hey, you're not Paul. Who are you? What are you doing in here?
I'm a friend of Paul's. He just wanted me to come over and check up on you.
He did? That's so sweet. He's such a nice guy. Is everything okay with him?
Yeah, sure. You sound pretty sick, Hannah. What have you got?
I don't really know. I've taken all kinds of medicine, but I can't seem to get rid of it. I feel like I got a fever and a sore throat. I'm real weak. Can't seem to get out of bed. What day is it? I can't remember.
Sounds pretty bad. Where did you get it?
Well, I think I got sick from one of my clients. I was feeling fine until I saw her a few days ago.
Who was this client?
She was just a woman who called. She found my ad in the newspaper. Usually only do business with referrals, you know, but she was offered a lot of money.
What can you tell me about this woman?
Her name was Jezebel Locke. I'm usually not too good with names, you know, but hers was so strange. I can't seem to get it out of my head.
Was there anything else strange about her? Anything at all?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. To tell you the truth, I don't really remember a whole lot about that night, you know. Everything's a little blurry, you know. I mean, I'm not usually, you know, into women, but I remember feeling so attracted to her. I thought she was the most beautiful woman I'd ever seen. Well, the next thing that's clear is when I woke up the next morning. I haven't been feeling too well since then. To tell you the truth, I have other friends who've worked with her, and they're not doing so hot either, you know? She had a room at the Empire Hotel. I can't remember the number. Hey, are you sure that Paul's okay? He's not sick, is he?
Well, I kind of want to be a nice guy to this girl who's not doing so well, so I'll say Paul's just fine, Hannah. Don't worry about him.
Good. He's a nice guy. I hope he calls me again sometime.
I'm sure he will, Hannah.
I hope so. I really do.
Rest in peace, Hannah. I'll go and take care of Jezebel. Man, nobody can ever have a happy ending in this game, I swear. And if you were wondering, if you couldn't talk to Hannah for some reason, if you look inside of here behind her vent, you can find her appointment book. And if you look at her appointment book, I'm not going to read the whole thing out. You can look at all the different clients she's had. She's an escort. And you can see Jezebel being the last one. So that's how you're supposed to know about her. And, oh, I almost forgot. We picked up that safe key. The safe key goes here to her safe, which has $200, which, I mean, she's not going to make it anyway. I don't feel bad about taking her money. So, we have our new target, Jezebel, over at the Empire Arms Hotel. That's its name. And seems we need to go and teach her a lesson and take her out, because she seems to be the last plague bearer, and is probably a kindred from her description. Oh, again, moment of silence for the elevator. Oh, I should note, I believe if you don't tell Hannah... So now luckily the Empire Arms Hotel are right here. I should note, I believe if you don't tell Hannah that Paul is dead, or not don't, if you do tell Hannah that Paul is dead, then I think you get a humanity loss. I'm not entirely sure. I think you actually might get a humanity gain if you don't tell, I don't know. Just, it'll be in an annotation up there. So now our next goal is to make it up to Jezebel's room. So let's try the most direct way possible.
Yes? May I help you?
Is there a guest here named Jezebel Locke?
Yes. Miss Locke is one of our more, popular guests. Why do you ask?
I need a key to her room.
I can't do that. It's against hotel policy.
If you don't give me a key, I'm gonna rip out your tongue.
I see. Well, in that case, perhaps I can make an exception. Here's the key to her suite. Have a nice evening.
Thanks, see ya. He took that awfully well. So we gained Jezebel's key, and also I don't believe you can know this because you can't check her key inside the key ring. Her apartment is also on floor 5. If you go to the other floors, there's just nothing for you. Now, I think you can see what's coming up here, and I recommend if you don't have strong combat disciplines, you might want to go pick up a shotgun from Fat Larry and some shotgun ammo. Otherwise, get ready for a fight.
Oh, yeah, who do we have here? Are you a believer, little morsel? Have you come for the kind of enlightenment only Jezebel can give?
I take it you're Jezebel, Locke?
Yes, I am Jezebel. And I have such things to show you, little morsel. Such beautiful, dirty little things. Won't you come into my parlor?
Should I tell her? I don't think so. What the hell is going on? Okay, let's try that again. What the hell is going on around here?
Oh, you cannot escape me, little morsel. One way or another, you and I will intertwine our beings on the way into the ninth circle, and I will send you forth, full of the sweet sickness I carry.
Yeah, that doesn't sound very fun, but let me guess, you're with the Brotherhood of the Ninth?
Yes, I follow the path of the ninth circle. Come and join the enlightened, indulging your animal instincts until both kind and kindred lie spent upon the altar. Desire will be our truth, desire in the death that follows.
That doesn't sound very fun. What do you even hope to accomplish with all of this?
I cannot control my hunger any longer. Come, the truth will be shown to you as I drink the blood from your twice lifeless body. Oh, it will be ecstasy. Oh, ecstasy, little morsel. Sweet ecstasy.
Get ready to see Brother Kanker. In hell. Alright, so as with every single fight, as a Brujah, I'm gonna get hit. This fight is pretty easy if you're a Brujah because you have Celerity and Potence, and as long as you, like, outspace her and use Celerity well, you're good. Or if you are an idiot like me and get hit anyway. And you can basically kind of stun lock her, especially if you, like, launch her like this. Unless you get unlucky like that. As you can see, it's pretty easy. Until you get just whacked. And she's pretty simple. If you don't have any good combat disciplines, I mean, just go pick up a shotgun. As you can see, when you kill her, when she dies, I guess when you kill her, that's the same thing. She drops a Brotherhood flyer here. She has a flyer for the Brotherhood of the Ninth, as she told us. It says, I am enlightened. And you can see a little symbol on it. Might be a clue of where to go. So, yeah, Jezebel was one of the fights I was dreading because when I did this originally, I didn't buy the armor, and I just kept getting destroyed on it. And it was not a fun fight. Now, unlike Brother Kanker, Jezebel is not a Nosferatu, and sometimes that door takes a while to open. So she doesn't have Potence, but she can still hit pretty hard, and you get kind of locked down if things go from bad to worse. She's a pretty interesting character, despite how small of a role she really has. Because we already know first about her, she's probably Venture Toreador, because she has Presence. I probably should know that. She actually used Presence at the beginning of the fight, which means it lowers basically all your abilities, which makes fighting her kind of a pain. She is also obsessed with pleasure and lives in a luxury suite, and if you're Malkavian, they'll actually refer to her with names like Queen Jezebel or Wicked Queen. Now, whether that's due to the Malkavian fledgling being completely ridiculously crazy, and referring to a lot of people by a lot of strange names, or the fact that the Malkavian fledgling is borderline psychic, who knows. She's also, of course, named after the infamous Queen of Israel, Jezebel, and not to mention, something that hasn't really been brought up in this game is the concept of diablerie, something very well known in the tabletop canon. Essentially, you eat another kindred soul, and you increase your own power by lowering your own generation to theirs by doing it. It's an unforgivable sin in the canon, essentially. The fact that Jezebel's familiar with and basically flat out craves diablerie hints that she might be a diablerist, but I say with how fast she went down, basically without a fight, she probably hasn't lowered her own generation that way. And sadly, despite how freaking amazingly useful Auspex is in the tabletop canon, it doesn't show Diablerist like it does in the tabletop rules of the game. But yeah, if you don't have strong combat disciplines, just bring a shotgun. She goes flying. It's like playing an old arcade fighting game where the AI just like doesn't know what to do. It really is pretty simple. So if we move over to where the Tremere Chantry is, we can see that symbol that was on the Brotherhood flyer right over here. So we know this is our next destination, but I'm gonna warn you. If you thought that the Jezebel fight was hard, oh boy, you have a real fun time coming. I highly recommend that you go and stock up on blood packs, which I'm actually going to do right now, because you have, in my opinion, one of the harder fights in the entire game coming up soon. So I'm gonna go do that real quick.
It's a mesmerizing liquid, isn't it?
Yeah, that's great, dude. If you're wondering why I picked up that $200, this is why. Now, again, if you have not picked up the armor from Fat Larry, go do that right now. You should have enough money for it, and trust me, you're gonna want it. Now, as for buying weapons, I don't exactly recommend it for this fight coming up, and I just realized I'm going the wrong way. Alright, here we are at our destination. We can see the front door's boarded in, so we're not getting in that way. Good thing I stocked up on blood packs, because this next section is not going to be entirely fun. We can see this door's locked, we can't get in, but we do have a nice little, like, nice quote-unquote receptionist here.
What's up, brother? You enlightened?
Yeah.
I see. Welcome to the Brotherhood. The bishop will see you upstairs.
Alright then.
Hey, did you get summoned? You're going upstairs to see the bishop.
Summoned?
You're new to the Brotherhood, huh? Just got enlightened. I've been here a few days. When the bishop wants to see you, you'll be summoned, and then you go up these stairs up to the temple.
The temple? What goes on up there?
I don't know. I mean, I hear things, but I haven't been summoned. I had a friend snuck up there a few days ago. Said she saw things, bad things. Yeah.
What did she see?
Blood. She said, blood everywhere. She saw a few of the summoned, tried to talk to them, but they just stared at her with these whoa blank looks, you know. One of them started reaching for her, and she ran away.
I'm sure you'll be summoned soon, and then you can join her.
Yeah. I know. The bishop said we have to shed our earthly fears on our journey to the ninth circle. But I'm scared to go upstairs. I just want to go home. You know, I want to go home.
Don't worry, you won't have to worry about the bishop anymore. But you know, I'm kind of low on blood, chick. I could really use this, especially with what we have coming up. You're gonna need to be as topped off as possible, because we're gonna have a kind of infamous part of the game coming up soon. In fact, I'm going to save before. I'll call this because I don't have a better name. Now, as we walk up these stairs, we can see all these fancy little plague bearers. I don't know why I called them fancy, because I think that's the opposite of what they are. It's a lot better to just try and take them out rather than trying to walk through them, because you will get hit if you just walk through them. I don't know how much health they have. It's pretty low. I think it's like in the 20s, like 24. I think actually 24 might be the magic number. But you do not want to get grabbed by them, because they will take your health. And you can also, okay, accidentally jump forward like that. That's a little scary. But as long as you can take them out and kind of take it slow, it's better than just losing health. Unless you're trying to, like, do a speed run. But, I mean, you already have all the strats figured out for that. It's just better to take it slow and steady and not just die. Now also, luckily this place is kind of linear. If it was actually a maze, that would be so awful. Especially with all these freaking plague bearers. At least they have pretty low health. Even if you don't have really strong unarmed like me because I'm a Bruja. Oh my god. Of course he grabbed me. Even if you don't have really strong unarmed like me, 1 or 2 swings with a fire axe will probably take him out. This also doesn't help because this area is really, really freaking dark. Once it gets to a certain point, you can kind of just start to run through. And luckily, I already know where to go, so you see this little hole here. Holes mean good things in this game. Take that how you will. And once we get down here, we know we're getting pretty close. So we round this corner, deal with this dude. Yeah, just a few plague bearers left. And then luckily I'm kind of topped off on blood, so I'm good in that regard. But I'm gonna take out a few more plague bearers. I'm amazed that this segment actually went almost perfectly. And we can see if, I don't know why I decided to eat from that rat, because I'm fine on blood. But we can see a rather ominous looking door, which is always a good choice to save. Now again, if you didn't do it for Jezebel, make sure you have the armor equipped, because especially if you're not a strong combat-based character like me, you're gonna have a really fun time in this fight.
Welcome, brother. I see you have been enlightened. Are you searching for something? Do you seek the truth? You come to the right place, brother. We got more truth here than we can handle.
Who the hell are you?
They call me Bishop Vic, Shepherd of the Damned, your midnight guide through our last days here on Earth. Do you feel it, brother? The curtain being drawn back at last, drawn back by my hand, by the Brotherhood of the Ninth Circle.
Last days here on Earth, are you talking about Gehenna?
Gehenna! Judgment Day, the apocalypse again, brother. You are too indoctrinated into the antiquated beliefs of this material world. There is no rhyme or reason, no all-powerful and terrible gods who watch over their children. You talk of disease. What about the disease that you and I both carry? Our flesh remade into nothing more than an abomination, feeding on our brothers and sisters like so many cattle. What god watched over me when that demon tore into my neck and made me into this monster you see before you? No, brother. There is no god who would tolerate such a thing. And so I have become God, and the diseases I carry to the masses will bring about an end of my own making. Until we have all journeyed below into the Ninth Circle.
You have lost your mind, Vic. This is insanity.
The time for words has come and gone, my brother. You and I will take those last steps together and see what truth lies behind the curtain. Let the night fall forever on this cursed earth, and let the fruits of my labor bring a long and bloody harvest.
Bring it on, Vic. And here we go. One of the most obnoxious fights in the game against Brother Vic. Luckily, having celerity makes it a lot easier, and having all these different abilities, definitely as Bruja, helps a lot, because presence will make it so he can't shoot you as well, and it kind of just turns into a damage race after a certain point. As you can see, I'm still doing, if I could activate celerity, emergency blood packs. This is exactly why I bought them. It kind of just turns into a damage race after a certain point. And as long as you can get him to miss and kind of stun lock him like this, you're more or less good. Especially if you can get him into a corner and drink your emergency blood packs like this. Then you can kind of just wail on him forever. Or I've heard other strategies where you get stuck on this lamp. That's really, really bad. I paused right at the wrong moment, and I am dead, as you can see. I can't even resume my game because I apparently accidentally quit. Figures this would take me more than one try. Alright, bring it on, Vic. Yes. This is definitely one of the harder fights in the entire game. But again, as long as you can lead him into a corner and kind of stun lock him, you can even stun lock him in place if he starts acting stupid. As you can see like this, and it kind of just turns into a damage rate. And just drink your emergency blood packs. And you'll especially want to try and make it out of that corner because his little plague bearers will start to come after you after some time. And you'll lose. You know, they say third try is the charm. You definitely want to throw up all your defensive disciplines if you can. As you can see, it just turns into a damage race. And that was easy that time, actually. Definitely get away from the plague bearers. They can still hurt you. And you just wait for quests to complete. And there we go, that's Brother Vic taken down. That was actually one of the fights, more than anything else, I was dreading throughout this entire playthrough. Talking about dreading, I know we haven't seen this game in an awfully long time. I just kind of was feeling bad for like a very long time and just couldn't record this. It doesn't really help that I get super nervous before I'm recording this. Like, I've been here prepping for this episode for like 3 hours just today. That includes like one test playthrough and like just rerouting things and doing random stuff and just being nervous and going out and petting my sister's dog instead. And it just gets like crazy doing this. It's not easy. I mean, it's not supposed to be easy, but, and I just realized I'm going the wrong way again. But there is one person that I think I can thank a lot for this, and I really do have a lot to owe for them, is that I don't remember exactly when this comment was left on my last video, because my screenshot of it says 1 week ago, but I took that like weeks ago, and whenever I saw it, like, it just made my heart spring through the roof with excitement. It was a comment by Nod Then Bow on YouTube on this last video that said, it was a very simple comment. It just said, "This is a pretty good LP. I hope you finish it one day." And like, it's hard to underestimate just how good of an impact even simple kind words like that have on like any sort of creative endeavor. It's why, like, on Twitter, I go out of my way to always try and leave nice comments on artists and stuff, because really, like, that can just completely change your day. I was having an okay day before, and then, like, I got a random notification on my phone. It was from YouTube. I'm like, well, I thought I disabled YouTube notifications and stuff. And I saw that somebody left a comment on my video. I mean, somebody liked my video enough not to just watch it, which is already crazy enough, but to leave a comment saying that they liked it and that they want to see more. And like, I don't know, it's just crazy and surreal. And I just realized I'm like rambling on. Okay, apart from rambling on, let's actually go to where we want to go, which I also realized I went to the completely wrong way because I don't want to go to the last round first. I actually want to head over back to where we were and go to the Tremere Chantry instead. Now, also, other strats for that Brother Kinker fight. I have heard strategies where you can hide behind stuff and his shotgun will miss. Use it to kind of just stall him out. Wait until he has to reload and then just go and wail on him. That probably works better if you're like not so combat oriented. I've also heard that the Plague Bearers, you can drink from them if your health is low. They'll cause you to vomit, but as long as you're like properly positioned, you should be good. And you shouldn't have a lot of problems. Now also, remember when I was saying, please go buy that body armor? Yeah, remember, go buy that body armor. You will probably lose without it. And also blood packs. As you can see, I still have all... Did I not use a single blood pack in that last fight? Oh my god, in the failed ones, which I'll probably leave in anyway. In the failed ones, I used them. If I seriously did that without any blood pack, Am I seriously going the wrong way again? I'm such an idiot. In the failed ones, I actually used some blood packs. Well, now you guys are getting an extra long video after the last one. I'm sure you guys won't mind this. Me just wandering around being a complete idiot and not knowing where to go. That last fight actually went incredibly well. That's kind of crazy. Alright, this time not being completely stupid. We can see that Tremere Chantry is literally right outside of where we came out of. I don't know how I forgot this, but I don't know. You forget the craziest things while recording. So now you head in, kind of just go whatever way you want and you'll automatically get sent there.
Hello, neonate. How can I be of assistance?
Do you have a few minutes to talk?
Of course.
I solved the problem with the epidemic.
You have? Impressive, young one. What exactly was the source of the epidemic?
It was a blood cult, headed by a vampire named Bishop Vic, a plague bearer.
Tell me of this so-called bishop.
Well, if I wanted to describe him in one word, well, not one word, 2 words, it would be 3 words. Absolutely freaking crazy, but he wanted to bring about the end of the world.
I see. That end may very well be upon us. But to business. I have a debt to pay you for your services.
Yes, you do.
If you so desire, I can give to you a unique talisman that might be of use in the future. If that does not interest you, I can compensate you with hard currency. You decide.
Okay, now I know where Skyrim got the idea. Like, half the Daedric quests in Skyrim are just like, you can have this cool Daedric artifact, or I'll give you 500 gold. I'll take the item you're talking about.
A wise decision, neonate. True power lies not in wealth, but in the things it affords you. I hope this object serves you well.
Well, me too. See, I don't want to talk with them anymore. Yes, so for that, we get the reward of the Blood Star, which will, which will double the duration of blood buff, which is pretty nice. If you actually take the cash on that, like, I don't know what you're doing. I cannot believe I found my way out of the Tremere Chantry first try. I always end up wandering around forever there. So now let's head over to the last round and report to Damsel. Oh my gosh, this time I actually remember the right way to go for the first time. And with this banging music, let's go talk to Damsel.
So,
All the plague bearers are dead.
you killed all of them? You? Huh. So I guess you want me to thank you or something? Damn it. Thanks, okay? Well, cool for now, but just don't go bragging to everybody about it.
You're not so bad either, Damsel. Still a bitch, but in a good way.
Righteous. You know, you just may have an anarch soul. I'll let you chew on that, Candy. Some of the boys might have overheard our conversation and gotten the impression I've gone soft. Somebody in this joint's gonna lack the restraint to keep their mouths shut.
Maybe. See you, Damsel. I'll kind of keep in the middle about this whole vampire politics situation. So, I suppose that's it for this episode. We tackled the plague bearer issue in downtown, which is actually, like, that's a huge weight off my shoulders. So, next time on Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, we'll see what kind of other side stuff we can do over here in downtown, and maybe even take care of that task that LaCroix gave us to do like a billion ages ago. Alright, see you guys then.
You love the talking baby movie, and the talking pig, and even the talking car in that show. You know the one I'm talking about. But now prepare for the most hilarious talkingest normally mute object yet. He's Steve Cash, a New York banker and recent whittler down on his luck.
And 10 makes 100. Here's your money, ma'am.
Ma'am, I happen to have a glandular problem. That's it. I'm withdrawing all my millions from this bank.
Cash! She's an ATM machine with the soul of his dead wife.
There's something familiar about this ATM machine.
I love you.
Wow, those marketing guys are geniuses.
Together, they're learning to make the most of their special situation.
So that girl from accounting used me today.
Really?
She wasn't like everybody else. When she pushed my buttons, she was very gentle.
Oh, honey, if you don't stop, I'm gonna have to make a deposit.
Malkavians are, interesting. There's something to them. Learning to sort the wisdom from the bullshit can be some work, and, not all of them are worth listening to, but, they're all good fun, if you ask me.